I may be a little fuzzy today on this broadcast, but there's nothing fuzzy about our guest today, who actually controls the universe himself with maybe a little bit of help. So let's watch and listen and see what's going to happen. This is the Swarm Unplugged podcast, where we introduce you to the best and the brightest in the crypto universe. With thousands of ideas to learn from people in all areas of crypto, we want to explore as many as possible. I'm Christopher Knight, so let's get started. And my apologies for the fuzz and the gray and all that good stuff, but when you go live, you deal with what you got. So we could try to get the camera straightened out as time goes on here today. But we really are excited on our guest today. And I say excited because all of you have seen him, have witnessed him. He's been on the night shows and talked about his work and all the things he's doing. He's got a lot of irons in the fire. But I think we're going to find out even more today about not only about his future plans, but about him as well. And today, our normal co-host, Tony K, is still out with COVID, and I'm very honored to have Rick Scherer as our co-host today. Come on, Rick.
Well, hey, good afternoon, Christopher. Fuzzy as you are, you're always bright, alert, and happy to see you there. And our regrets go out to Tony, hoping that he's going to recover soon. He's actually committed to coming visit us next week, and let's pray things work out as we all expect them to. But today, you're right. I am super excited about our guest today. So,
all right. Well, who exactly is our guest today, Rick?
Well, our guest today is Hugo Olivares from the infamous iUpixel and the newly created PixEarth.
I've never heard about him at all. What's is this a stranger we're bringing on screen or what?
I think last week he decided to dabble into crypto and coding. Little newbie on the block, but I think he's took a few master classes.
I see. Well, I guess we're going to find out, aren't we? Hugo, join us and let's get on with it and see what you're all about. Welcome, Hugo.
Hello. How are you?
We're doing fine. Every once in a while we're going to throw some rocks and stones and just have some fun. So get ready for that, my friend.
Yeah, for sure.
Wait, I know that you're actually from and with us from another country. Why don't you tell us? I always like to know a little bit about the people that we have on. History. Did you play soccer as a 12-year-old? Were you abandoned on the footsteps of a church? I mean, things like that about you personally. Tell us about Hugo?
Yeah, sure. So, hi everyone. I'm from Guatemala. My name is Hugo Olivares, and I am 33 years old. I have two beautiful baby girls, 5 and 8 years old, and well, a lot of my childhood, I actually didn't play like the usual games. I was more into skating and rollers, and anything that had like wheels on it, like bicycles, motorcycles, pretty much anything that can go fast. That's something that I was always into. And after like going out, usually I came back to home and I played a lot of Nintendo. Like I grew up in front of the different consoles over time. I had an NES, like a Nintendo, like the original, and then a Super Nintendo, and then Nintendo 64. And after Nintendo 64, I actually moved to a PC. I got my first PC, and that was the end for me. Like I want to play on the PC, and I want to learn more about computers and computer systems and technology, and that was it for me. So that's a lot of my childhood. I actually spent a lot of time sitting on the computer, learning stuff, finding stuff, and playing a lot of games.
So you're a gamer then, huh?
Yeah, a huge gamer.
Hugo, I didn't hear the Atari in there. What's going on? I was an
Oh.
Atari guy.
I didn't have Atari. Like Nintendo was my first one, and I was like 6 or 5 years old, I believe, when Nintendo was out.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't there for Atari, sadly.
You're too young to even remember the Pong game that they came out with, aren't you?
Yeah, I do remember it because I've seen it, but I never played it like the way you were supposed to with your joystick and your Atari. That was the original way.
Well, the original with Pong was you'd hook something up to your TV and put a plastic screen over your TV that simulated the line. It was a black screen, and that's how you played Pong originally.
Nice.
I, it was it was very high tech at the time. Believe me. Uh, that's back when we still had wired phones. No one uses those anymore either. So here we go.
Yeah.
But you've jumped into some big space right now. Uh, how did all that get started? Because I know that you're into a couple of things, and you're really starting to create even beyond that. But we'll talk about that on another show. But how did you get into really developing it into a major project?
Well, it actually all was thanks to a friend. He called me one day and he asked me, "Do you know how to set up blockchain infrastructure for, to start a new blockchain?" That was his question, and I said, "No, but what do you want to do? Let's do it." And he told me about a project that was building an infrastructure and a different blockchain, and I had to learn a lot about everything and infrastructure, and that kind of got me hooked up. And then during the process of that, I also heard that they were given the chance to some different communities to build their own project, their own blockchain projects. So that's when we came in with iUpixel. We needed just a team of founders, people that believed in what we were going to do and where we wanted to go. So I wanted to build a blockchain project that at the end was going to benefit Latin America. So that's how we came in with iUpixel, and that's how the Pixel token was born. And we started with the Be Social community. It was a great opportunity, and one thing led to the other. And we've been here now for a couple of years, and I've been learning a lot about blockchain technologies and contracts, and it's a whole new world, and it's been super fun.
Well, I want to jump in for a second. You mentioned the Be Social community, and one of the questions I wanted to pose to you, how in fact has that community benefited your project?
How the community benefits from
Yeah,
the project?
yes. In other words, how did the Bees community help you with your projects? I mean, was it something that was, well, I'll let you talk.
Well, it's been amazing because the community has been like super supportive to everyone in the iUpixel team. They believed in everything we were going to do before we had like an exact idea of where we wanted to go. When we started with iUpixel, we knew we were a company that created technology on the blockchain, and we have an amazing team of developers. And there's been a lot of work that's been thanks to the developers. And well, the Be Social community believed in us when we were still thinking about technology. And during this time, we've noticed that iUpixel is a gaming company. We produce gaming experiences on the Ethereum blockchain. So that's part of the description now for iUpixel. And well, the Beast community has been there for us. They have been supporting everything we do. They helped us like give a valuation to the token, and they just been amazing. It's really hard to find people to believe in new projects, to believe in people wanting to do something better for the world. So It's been an amazing journey. It's been super nice.
Beautiful. Excellent.
Well, I know iUpixel, of course, came on the scene just about the same time I did. I think that you probably were, yeah, you were much earlier than I was, but uh, you came on with a lot of the founders and the like, as I recall. But as you released the iUpixel on the marketplace uh, in the first round, I guess it would be, then it did well for a while and so forth. My question is, what are you doing right now to increase the value of that token?
So the value of the token is going to depend a lot on the projects we are going to release. We were about to release $1 billion market cap in December last year, and we just noticed that the NFT marketplace, it had changed a lot. We were supposed to launch the project of $1 billion market cap on June or July last year, and we had to do a complete redo of the entire technology behind $1 billion market cap because there were some changes, and we noticed that it wouldn't work with some features of OpenSea. So we kind of had to start from scratch again in July after we have been working like for a while. So during those other 6 months that we started developing the new technology, the market changed a lot. And when we were about to release Vanilla Market Cap, we noticed it didn't make a lot of sense anymore because the NFT like marketplace now is like super different. And the best way we could give like valuation to the project was to tie it to PixEarth, which is the other project we have, which is a virtual world, a metaverse. So at the end, they have like a lot of similarities, and we just decided that it was better to release $1 billion market cap as the lands system for PixEarth. So we are going to release the land systems for PixEarth next month, and that's gonna give valuation to the Pixel token. And also, when we develop more of the PixEarth metaverse, and as we keep releasing information and give people access to the alpha test of PixEarth, that's going to bring, I believe, a lot of hype to the project we're doing, because there's a lot of people that we've noticed in the community that they don't know exactly what we're doing. They don't understand how a metaverse works, how a virtual world works, and how would you build game experiences inside a game. And there's a lot that we have to educate the community about, but that's something that's going to allow you to do a lot of good stuff in a game, have fun, and also you can make some profit by doing some assets. And you're also going to be able to find pixel tokens around the world. So it's going to be a lot of fun, but there's a lot of onboarding work we have to do. So we started releasing the Gaming 101 series. They are Substack posts, and we are going to be getting in depth into RPG games, and then getting really in detail in MMORPG games, which is the part we actually belong to.
Now, in regard to this new PixEarth, as opposed to the $1 million market cap, are people still able to buy a space and own that space and advertise on it and maybe resell it? I mean, is that concept still consistent with the new PixEarth?
It's consistent, but it's improved a lot, because you're not just buying a space anymore on the canvas, where you can upload an image and put a description and get a like dynamic NFT. You're also getting land inside a world, a virtual world. So if you have land, you're gonna be able to build on top of it, and you're gonna be able to build game experiences on that piece of land. You're gonna be able to, if you want, put assets from the marketplace on that land, so you can fill it out with houses and trees and a dog and whatever you want, and then invite your friends over, which are going to be able to use an avatar, a virtual avatar, so they can go and visit your place, or you can host events, or you can do many different things with your land. So
Now, one more question, Chris. Is there a skill set that one must know in order to create, within PixEarth, this environment with the house and a dog and a fence and whatever? Do you need to know creative skills to build that?
we have 3 different platforms. There is the platform for the game that is going to allow you to just play the game experience, and you can purchase stuff from the marketplace and put it on your land, and that's it. You don't need to do anything else but to take stuff that's been made by someone else and put it on your land.
Wow.
There's another platform we are going to have and we're going to release, which is the asset maker. So it's a different platform where you're going to be able to build 3D assets that you can import to the marketplace and then sell, and you're going to get a profit from it. So for that, you do need skills. You do need 3D skills. You got to know how to do some textures. You got to know the basics, I believe, of 3D asset creation, which is taking primitive forms and then extruding some of the forms and giving it a different form. That's like the basics. It's going to be a basic tool, but it's going to allow you to do like really cool stuff. So that's one. And there's another platform that is going to allow you to create a game experience. There's going to be a set of like logic connectors. It's not code because you can drag and drop a lot of those options, and you're going to be able to put them in a way that is going to create the logic for a game experience. You're going to have like, if you fall from here to here, you're going to die. If you fall from here to here, you're going to get a life, or stuff like that. Instead of like knowing code, you're going to use a lot of the expressions we're going to give you so you can build a game experience. So there are 3 different platforms for 3 different types of people, and they all build into a game. And if you don't like any of the other 2 where you can make games or you can make assets, you can just play the game and have fun. People,
I need some help here, Hugo. Okay, as a novice and hearing the word metaverse, thrown around in all different directions by all different kinds of company, even Facebook changing their name to kind of match into that area. I don't really know what it means. What does metaverse really mean?
The metaverse, I believe it's like the ultimate version of the metaverse. It's still far away from my standpoint and the point of view I have. A metaverse is a place where everyone can congregate independent of the community you're from and the game you're from. Everyone is going to be able to be on the same place in a virtual world, and they can all share assets. For me, the ultimate version of a metaverse would be standardizing a lot of the type of files you use and the type of code you use to create games and allow people to have an immersive experience and connecting everything together. But there has to be some sort of a standard for it. And we are still a lot of time from that, I believe, to reach that ultimate version of the metaverse. But the metaverse is a place where a lot of people can congregate, share an experience, and you can also bring your assets from other experiences you have, other games you have, into that place, and it's gonna be a seamless experience. There's an anime series actually that is called Sword Art Online, and they depict what I think it's the best idea of a metaverse. You have a world that has a standard, and everyone adopts that standard, and every game that's built uses that standard, so you can just hop from one world to the other and bring your own player, the same skills you have developed in another game to the other game. And a lot of like all the things you have to start from scratch usually when you go to another game or game experience or another metaverse. um, like it's there, it stays there. So if there is a way to always keep that information on the blockchain and just share it with everyone else and get some standards, it's going to give us like a better version of the metaverse where everyone can create stuff and they can just put it on the same metaverse, different worlds of a universe of different ecosystems working all together. That's some sort of the idea I have for the metaverse.
So you see them actually being able to blend together after this initial thrust and learning experience with metaverses, whatever whatever the word might be. So you see them eventually, maybe even a couple of years from now, kind of a blending of all of them together. So you kind of act as a world community. Is that what you're saying to me?
Yeah, that should be for me like the best experience of a metaverse. It's a single place where all the universes of games and immersive experiences can merge, and you can just hop on from one to the other seamlessly with the same character you've been playing for years, and everything you've done to it, because there's a lot of people that takes a lot of time to create a character for the game, their avatar. So that's what I think it's like the best idea of the metaverse. But we are still starting with this. It's still in development. Even Facebook has invested around $2 billion creating this technology, and they haven't released anything because it's a process. It's just starting, and it's gonna be a new normal, I believe. This in the same way NFTs are going to change the way you do things daily in the world, it's going to happen with the metaverse.
A couple of years ago, I had heard someone say that when you're born, you're going to be assigned an avatar. And I just brushed it off. I'd think, what are we talking about here? And as we move toward that area, I wouldn't be surprised if that isn't true.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I can see people even like having an NFT that gives them an identity in the blockchain, and all that information is kept and it's immutable, and everyone is kept on the blockchain from the moment they are born. So I don't know. There's still a lot of use cases for NFTs and the blockchain technologies in the world, and I just hope for the best and hope someday there is 100% of adoption of blockchain in everything we do in the world.
Yeah. Go ahead, Rick.
Well, I think everybody would probably like to know your specific role and who you are and what you do for the two entities now, iUpixel and PixEarth. I mean, is it the same role that you play for both, or have you migrated, your skill set and energy into PixEarth? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's changed quite a bit. When I started the iUpixel project itself and got the rest of the founders of the team together, I was playing a part of the marketing, like the chief marketing executive, you can say. That was my role at the beginning. And then as we moved on and as people left, because it's been a couple of hard years, I don't know, there's a lot of people that have some sort of difficulty of to work for something that is not providing any monetary compensation to you. So during this time, we've lost some team members. So I have taken a different role. Now I oversee like most of the things that happens in all of the departments of iUpixel and PixEarth, and I see like public relations, and I also see what's happening in the development department, and I make sure that everyone is working together and that we are working cohesively and we have the same energy and that we have the same goal. So I kind of like oversee the entire two projects, if you can say, and help remove some obstacles from the way and make sure that we are going smoothly with everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's changed quite a bit.
Interesting that you've touched on across your dynamics of how long you've been in existence, that there's a good number of people that are working not necessarily with a complete compensation, but a belief in the project in its end. And unfortunately, I believe the people that were early involved in your group that decided, well, don't see the end, they're going to look back on this and be very sorry they left the project.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure about that. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen.
I know you touched on it, but that's like more of a clarification on what made you decide that you're a gaming company. What brought that on? Was it did you just wake up one morning and say, "Hey, we can really advance if we change our focus"?
Well, one of the things that steered us towards that direction, you can say, was that a lot of the projects that started like happening on our minds and we put on the pipeline of this is what we have to do, they were like games. And a lot of us in the iUpixel team, we are gamers as well. And we like the games and the experiences they provide to people. So it just made sense when we saw some of the games, the first play to earn games, like creating a new economy using games. So that just made a lot of sense to me. Like, we are a gaming company and we can change the world through games. We can allow people to create assets and get some monetary compensation for it, for their time, and have some fun. So
I do believe that play to earn strategy in both gaming and the NFT world is about to explode.
Yeah, I do believe it has the potential to change a lot of different regions, mostly like third world countries. They have a lot of like good options to change their lives using pay to earn games. I remember I watched there's a documentary about the Axie Infinity game and how it changed the lives of people in the Philippines. There is an entire village, you can say, inside of Philippines that were able to survive playing Axie Infinity when COVID hit everything and a lot of the businesses started dying. So that's one good example of what a good game, a good play to earn game with good tokenomics can do for the people. So it just made sense to me that we had to do something like that.
Beautiful.
You know, I think we've run across a film that you have out, and we'd like to play that film. And when we come back, ask you some questions about it. If you don't mind, let's, Rick, you about ready to roll that beautiful footage?
Okay. I most definitely am.
I'm the first. This is the year 2488. You don't even know it, but we will barely make it to this year. Years ago, we had no other choice but to become a single nation walking towards a single goal: the persistence of humanity. In the early 20th century, Earth warned us. Yet the pockets of the people in power were full of money, and that blinded them from reality. It did not allow them to see the problems that came from global warming. The dominoes started falling one after the other. Waves of heat, over 200 degrees of consuming death. Arctic meltdowns led to devastating water levels. Floods everywhere. Agriculture became impossible. The entire economic system began to collapse. And just when we thought it couldn't get any worse, Mother Earth tried to regenerate. New volcanic activity surged from the the oceans, waves of sulfur-contaminated water. And with every volcano came massive earthquakes and tsunamis. Entire continents disappeared. Unknown diseases to us emerged. We had no option. We had to unite in a single nation. It was a different planet already. Life expectancy dropped to 40 years old, and with few experts, science advancement drastically slowed down. One lifetime wasn't enough to learn and then try to fix things. Transcendence wasn't an option. It was the only way. Only a few technologies survived from the world you know. Even though the World Wide Web was almost wiped out, some Ethereum blockchain nodes were still working, and therefore the network was still alive. Our hope was never lost, and almost 500 years later, the endless search for transcendence finally gave results. The sync emerged, the most important discovery for our transcendence. The sync allowed us to upload our conscience into the network and thrive. Whoever listens to this message, let this be a reminder that you can be one of the heroes that this world has been waiting for a long time. Today, we transcend together. Today, you become a citizen of PixEarth.
Hugo, the only problem is I'm not going to live for 500 years. So what can I say about that? Go ahead. This is a fascinating. It's a fascinating piece to watch, and it's got a lot of questions buried in there, don't you think?
Yeah, a lot. So, yeah, I should have.
Okay. The essence of that film actually is kind of like an Armageddon, right? We're going to completely ruin our own planet, but there's still going to be some segments of it left, and you're banking on the fact that it's going to be in the ether almost in blockchain, and I love the you call it the sync. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Where your consciousness actually flows and becomes part of the world knowledge. I think that's already going on. Some people can tap into it, others can't. I'm not one that can, unfortunately. I'd love to be able to, but I think that exists already. One day, I think we'll all be able to do that. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I hope that happens. There's a movie called Chappie that is about a robot that has like an advanced artificial intelligence, and at the end, he wants to save his mother, so he finds the way to upload her conscience to the network, to a computer. So I believe we are far from that, but someday it's going to happen, and that's going to be a good day.
Okay. All right. The question I have is your cyber name.
My cyber name, the first.
The first. What does that mean to you?
The first, actually, in the PixEarth story, is the first person that was uploaded to PixEarth. So that's why it's just called the first, but we don't have a lot of information about that specific person. We have the NFT character for it, and he's going to play an important role in the game, but we don't know a lot of information about him.
Okay.
But it's going to be super fun.
Yeah, so we're hearing a bit of a nugget that within PixEarth, there's going to be an NFT series of characters.
That is correct.
Any heads up of a potential launch date for this, or any information, or way too soon?
We are going to launch after we launch the lands for PixEarth. The reason for that is that we decided to continue working in the entire collection instead of just releasing a part of the collection first. So that also happened because we got new partners and we have a new timeline to release the lands, and there's a whole new dynamic, and we're going to release that information in February.
Okay. You're going to release the information in February when it's going to be released.
Yeah, exactly.
In other words, the word is soon.
Soon, but in February, we're going to launch the Pixar lands. So that's for sure.
And the Pixar land is going to be required these Oculus headsets to truly immerse in that.
Well, the Pixar lens, it's just gonna be the real state.
Okay.
You're gonna be able to use in the game, and we're going to launch the game later. The first alpha test for the game is in end of Q1, and the people that purchase like the first 300 to purchase lands, they are going to have access to that alpha test.
Okay. And do we have any anticipated price per land, per pixel, per square? I mean, how is that going to, and how big is a pixel?
Well, every land that you're gonna be able to buy in the Pixar land system, like 1 square, is going to equal 100 times 100, like 100 square units inside the game, and it's also going to have a maximum like height of 128 units. Just in case you're wanting to build like the Empire State or something like that in your land, you're gonna have to buy like different building permits so you can continue like building higher.
Okay.
So,
and any anticipated, rough cost for these plots of land, or too soon?
Yeah, we have a price, and it's gonna be 0.1 Ethereums every square.
0.1. Okay.
So I'm thinking about buying land for an airport so I can fly everybody around from their other lands. Is that possible?
It might be possible.
Build a transportation company so that everyone can get around from plot to plot.
You can sell the cars as NFTs. Yeah, that sounds good.
I just like to have the public transportation permits. That's all I would like.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. I'm pretty sure.
If I'm not mistaken, 0.1 Ethereum seems like a very reasonable number. We're talking about somewhere between $30 and $35 based on Ethereum's price now.
0.1, I'm not sure. It dropped today again.
Well, even if it dropped to 2,800, we're talking about $28.
It's $312. 0.1.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're leaving off a zero.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, as far as future releases and things that are coming along the line, I know that you've got a lot of news coming, and we'll look forward to that. But before we come to the end of this episode, which we are coming to the end of this particular episode,
wow, that was great.
Is there anything you would like to say to the audience about not only about what you're doing, but about maybe the future of all the things you're involved in and how it's going to affect the world itself?
Well, one of the things I'm mostly excited about when we launch the game of PixEarth is that, well, PixEarth is not like a play to earn, because it's a different system, because we decided to give 50% of our total supply, the pixel token, as gifts in the game. So you're gonna be able to walk around the world and go different like random stuff, and then you're gonna be able to find, I don't know, hidden inside a cave, a stash of pixel tokens. 50% of our total supply will be around $6 million, taking the current price we have right now for the pixel token. So we are going to continue developing it. We're going to allow people to I don't know, change their lives probably in different regions of the world just by playing a game. So that's something I'm really looking forward to. And also for the creative people, they're also going to be able to create assets and monetize their assets and do something cool, have some fun, and get some income for it, and get some passive income for it, because it's going to be also you're going to be able to purchase it also like as a third party marketplace on OpenSea or something like that, and they can get the revenue, constant revenue for it by creating assets. So it's, as I said, it's not a play to earn, but it's a game that is going to allow some people to change their lives. And also, if you're going to create games, it's going to let you define the way you're going to monetize your experience. So there's a lot of different ways for you to earn something in that game and have fun. So that's something I'm really looking forward to.
Well, since you brought it up, let me just ask this. It seems to me that if half of your tokens are set aside as giveaways for a game, that's going to dilute the value for those of us who have purchased the token. Now,
it looks like that.
From a business vantage point, it seems that way to me. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, please.
It's going to also incentivize a lot of people to get into the game, and there's gonna be like an entire marketplace where they can purchase stuff with pixel tokens. So there's a lot of people coming into the game. There's a lot of people playing. There's a lot of hype being created because there's a lot of people playing. So that's gonna allow more people to get into the game and help other people by purchasing cool assets. And that's also gonna continue the economy going like forward. And also, we are not going to release all of the treasures at the same time. It's gonna be during a given set of like months that we are going to be releasing different chests around the world. Because of the same reason, we have to take in consideration tokenomics, and we know the behavior of most people. If they find a chest with 150,000 pixel tokens, they would dump most likely, unless they really love the game and then they reinvest. They will reinvest the pixel tokens as assets. They could do that, or they could dump. They could do whatever. So it depends a lot on the people. But as I said, it's something calculated. It's not gonna be all at once, and we know it's not gonna make the price of the token go down. It's the other way. It's just gonna let it live.
So in other words, with these token giveaways within the game, you're encouraging and inviting a lot more people to participate in the game, whether they find these hidden treasures or not. If they truly love the game and need assets, they're going to need to buy the token to purchase the assets.
Yeah, that is correct. The only economy that is going to be used is pixel tokens for everything. So,
okay.
All right.
Excellent.
It's good. It sounds like an exciting future for you and everybody involved with you. And I'm happy to say that I am as well. Hugo, thank you for being with us today and taking our questions, whether they be logical or not, and answering them very straightforwardly. It's really, really a pleasure having you on today. Thank you, Hugo.
Thanks for having me. I had a lot of fun. And anytime I'm available.
We will definitely have you back as the program and projects mature, and love to have you back. You've got tremendous following here from I guess Colombia. So many people coming on and just loving everything you're saying. So really appreciate it and thank you.
Okay.
Right. Talk to you soon, Hugo. All right, Rickster, that's a lot of information there to think on, or to marinate on, as they say. All right.
Digest lots of new information, lots of exciting things, and great to have Hugo on. And people were just like looking forward to the next steps within the PixEarth and within iUpixel. So,
yeah, I think this was a good chance for them to learn more about not only Hugo, but his entire process and the things he has in the future. I definitely want to have Hugo on again, because I know he's got some big announcements coming up very soon, and we'd love to have him on to talk about those in the near future. Thank you, Rickster, for being our co-host today. We appreciate it.
Enjoy the day.
It's been a pleasure. Been a pleasure. And for everyone else, very glad you were here with us today. I hope you learned as much as I did, because I had no idea some of the things that were in the future for the iUpixel and PixEarth. And it's going to be exciting to see what happens. Between now and next Wednesday, I want to make sure everyone remembers to listen, learn, and give. Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Swarm Unplugged podcast. Be sure to hit the follow button and leave us a glowing comment. Gravitate yourself to be on the podcast so you are the next one to introduce themselves to the Be Social community. See you on the next episode.